All right, Jordan, here we go. I'm going to try to explain this as best as I can. Okay, so I'm sure that you know what an absolute value is, but just in case, these two bars means that the absolute value of x is going to be less than or equal to 5. Meaning that if I was to put a negative x in here, like say negative 3, it would become 3. It would just take the absolute value, the distance it is from 0, whether it's a negative or positive value. So looking at this x, absolute value of x is less than or equal to 5, it would be like saying, first off, like if x is positive, it would be the same thing as x is less than or equal to 5. And if x ended up being negative, it would mean that x would be greater than or equal to negative 5. If you think of that as, if I was to put a, say, negative 4, negative 4 is greater than negative 5. And if I was to plug negative 4 into here and into the absolute value, you would get 4, which is actually less than 5. And so that's basically, to work these problems, what you can do in essence is just take whatever you have in the absolute value in between the brackets, and you can set it just equal, just take away the brackets and you'll have that equation. And then you can take away the brackets and just reverse this inequality sign and then put a negative sign on this term on the right. And so if you were to solve this right here, I mean, it's already solved, but if you were to graph it, you would just take, let's see if I can put my phone here. Let me draw the graph real quick. You can draw your graph. Okay, so I have 0 here in the middle, and then you would have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then your negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, and negative 5. And what we're looking at is that x is going to be less than 5. And it includes 5. So you're going to draw a circle and fill it in. And then we know that x is going to be greater than negative 5 or equal to it. So it'll be a circle and fill it in. And then you're basically going to just take and draw your line across to connect it. And that's what, if you were to graph it, it'd look like this. Okay, if I do a problem like number 3, remember the rule is first just set the equation, remove the brackets, and that'll give you one equation. And then your second equation is going to be where you remove the brackets, and then you just flip over the inequality and then add a negative sign in front of the one on the right. And so now you can just solve them just like any other type of inequality. So you do x plus 4 on this side, you would just subtract 4. So you would take away 4 here and take away 4 here. And that would leave you with x less than or equal to 5 minus 4, which is 1. And over here, you do the same thing. So you minus your 4 and minus your 4 on both sides. And then you would have x is greater than or equal to negative 5 minus 4 gives you negative 9. Okay, so when we were to graph this, and just make it easier, I'm not going to draw every little tick mark. What I'm going to do is I'll just write the number underneath it. So we have 0 in the middle. We know that it is less than 1, so we'll just put right here and we'll just say this is 1. And we know that it is going to be greater than negative 9, so I'm going to put negative 9 over here. But this includes 9, so it's greater than or equal to negative 9, and x is less than or equal to 1. So you have to fill in the circle. If it didn't include it, you would just draw an open circle. And then you would just connect your line in the middle. Whoops. You just color this in. So something like that. And so for the last one, do the same procedure. Just take your 1/2 x. Oops. That should be times x. Let me rewrite that. So 1/2 times x minus 1 is less than or equal to 2. And then the other equation, you just rewrite the left-hand side, flip the inequalities symbol, and then add a negative sign to the right side. And then you're just going to solve this. So the first thing you would do is just add 1 to both sides. So plus 1, and this will give you 1/2 x less than or equal to 2 plus 1 is 3. And then you would just multiply both sides by 2. So 1/2 x times 2 will just give you x. And then 3 times 2 will just give you 6. And on this side, we do the same thing. We're going to add 1 to both sides. That'll give you 1/2 x is greater than or equal to, and you got negative 2 plus 1, which give you negative 1. And now we're going to multiply both sides by 2. So 1/2 times 2 gives you 1, so it'll be 1x is greater than or equal to negative 1 times 2, which would be negative 2. So now we'll just do the whole graphing thing again. It's hard to hold my phone and my paper at the same time. Okay. So here's 0. We'll just say that this right here is 6. And we're going to include 6. So we fill in the circle. And then we're going to have negative 2. We'll put it roughly here, negative 2. And it's going to include negative 2. So we fill in our circle. And then for our line, we'll just connect them like that. Now, if your inequality was just like, say, x greater than negative 2, instead of this, you would just, where this is at, you would just put a circle instead of filling it in. So I hope that helps. If you have any more questions, just call me and I'll try to help.